Nuetti. I'm Amanda Hamilton.
And I'm Kayla Kimball. We want to present our Kuna Language learning project in this video. First, you'll see a 2-minute fictitious conversation between an older sister, me, and her younger sister. In this scenario, the younger girl is constantly annoying her older sister as they plan and make a trip to the market.
But something happens there that helps them see past their differences. We hope you enjoy the conversation, and afterwards we'll be discussing some ways that we approach learning Kuna, the challenges we faced, as well as some advantages that we had.
Nueri, iki kude.
Ampala,
Pene,
anmas pakne.
anmas patne mo. Ikwak penau.
Imis.
Imis din, an e batnau.
Ne, Dexi.
Julie. Anabi.
Nabi.
An obob bay, an oba bay, an baniog bay, an
Boki.
aswa bay, an oros bay, an oshi bay,
Boki.
an tued kolagua bay, an mokini bay,
Boki.
an sapat arat bay, an kachikini chibuguan bay, an achu chibu bay, an moli kwalu nakarba bay,
An isha nugal nikad bay. Isha ya nugal nikad. Boki.
Nebieri.
Ne, chan pak. Anusa pakne, anmol pakne. Nade.
Aye.
Opa, piachi. Opa, piachi. Opa, opa. An payonos. An iguan tacha, an ibotacha, an batacha.
An behachi bakcha.
An pepila. Ima, nexi, nimano.
Aye.
You're not yourself without a Snickers. We found the process of learning the Kuna language enjoyable and interesting, but it definitely wouldn't have been possible without the resources that were provided. The Paya Kuna resource in particular was invaluable. We also used the Kuna pronunciation guide, the Kuna numbers worksheet, and the interactive IPA chart when we began our learning journey. As we progressed in our understanding, we mostly used the Paya Kuna guide. At the beginning of our journey, we used bottom-up processing as we looked for patterns within chunks of language and pieced together the rules. We showed grammatical sensitivity as we sought to recognize the function of various words and formulate the rules that applied. To do this, we relied heavily on the Paya Kuna resource, which provided English translations to sentences. We were then able to recognize certain words in various situations and seek to discern a pattern from this. Many vocabulary words were learned with this approach. We were also able to discern what words were nouns, which words were verbs, and the general placements of each. This was a more inductive approach that helped us form a very basic, although gaping, understanding of the language.
Okay, later on we switched to a heavily top-down approach where we would study the given rules that we had found and seek to apply them in new situations. For example, when we learned about indirect objects and past tense, we applied those in a new situation, like when in the video I said, I bought you chocolate. We used bought, the past tense of pak, and we used the indirect object suffix ga when she says pega, for you. This was a more deductive approach towards the end as we constructed our understanding by looking first at what had been provided to us. There was also a lot of language transfer from our L1 English in this process. Applied knowledge of English, grammar, and understanding of Kuna was very important to us. Parts of speech especially were something that we focused on, or that helped us understand the language better. The placement of nouns, the verbs, direct and indirect objects, adverbs, just knowing about those things and that they exist and how it changes in the other language helped us.
That being said, there were some serious limitations to this project and factors that made learning more challenging than with most languages. We found that the somewhat simplistic structure of this language was very intriguing. It's simplistic in that there's no articles or prepositions, only emphasis on certain words to indicate location. Yet other aspects like the syntax and how they emphasize seemingly random things can be difficult to grasp since it's totally foreign to us. For example, having the verb at the end of the sentence or adding suffixes to indicate indirect or direct objects was something to grapple with. As a student of English that has always been drilled to look for direct and indirect objects after the verb, this served as a difficult task. The fact that this is a foreign language with a very limited number of speakers made finding resources outside of what was provided to us extremely difficult. There were zero interpersonal situations or interaction with fluent speakers who could explain concepts to us, which was detrimental to the process. This also limited our phonetic coding abilities since we had no opportunities to utilize them. We weren't able to hear native speakers say words or phrases that we were learning. Also, as a result of this, there were no contextualization clues in social interaction because we weren't interacting with a fluent speaker. This very much limited ways to figure out phonemes and exactly how to pronounce words in the language. When looking at language learning preferences and Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences, I would definitely consider myself an interpersonal learner. Therefore, being with a partner was beneficial, but also difficult since we were operating on the same level of understanding. If I had the opportunity to learn from or work with a fluent speaker, my capacity to learn Kuna would have been greatly increased.
Mm-hmm. However, we did have some strengths and advantages in the project. For example, both of us were familiar with the phonology of the Spanish language, which is similar to the Kuna language. Both languages just have 5 vowels that stay the same constantly, so that was something that helped us. Also, where I had experience in a different TESOL project working with the Japanese language, that helped me understand some concepts that don't exist in Spanish or in English. For example, using units whenever you count something. Those words that go with that. Also the emphasis on prefixes and suffixes, the lack of articles, and verbs going at the end of the sentence. These are all things that the Japanese language also has that we were able to understand better. Other things that were our strengths, we both were able to inductively learn language, which was beneficial, and we showed grammar sensitivity. Having a partner definitely helped, and having a partner in the same city definitely helped. I can't imagine having to have a phone call with someone or type out everything, trying to learn this language, or not being able to say, hey, look here at this resource, what do you think about that? It was really helpful to have someone in the same city. For me, language learning styles was a benefit, whereas Amanda said hers was interpersonal and it was kind of hard to do it without having a native speaker. My multiple intelligence strengths tend to be linguistic and mathematical. So for me, being able just to study written words and the grammar behind it was beneficial. Overall, this project had its limitations and its strengths as well, but we really enjoyed it, and it was fun to see concepts that we studied in class applied in the actual second language acquisition process. So we really hope you enjoyed our video, and have a great end of the semester.